And welcome to the late night edition with me, Ayushman Singh Jamwal. Our top story: the Enforcement Directorate has widened its probe in the SSC scam and found some documents to nail the role of Partha Chatterjee in the case. The documents recovered from the house of Partha Chatterjee have opened a can of worms, exposing his links with Arpita Mukherjee. The duo are co-owners of several properties, including companies, land, luxury flats. Almost all the documents seized from Partha's home had Arpita's name featured in it, hence leaving no scope for the no-link argument.
আমি ছোট্টবেলা থেকে রাজনীতি করি তার কারণ আমার একটা ধারণা ছিল রাজনীতি মানে ত্যাগ। আমি কোনো অন্যায়কে সাপোর্ট না করেও, ভুল বুঝবেন না, দুর্নীতিকে সাপোর্ট করা তো আমার জীবনের নেশাই নয়, পেশাও নয়, এবং মর্মাহত এবং শোকাহত কয়েকটি রাজনৈতিক দলের আচরণে। বন্ধু, কেউ কখনো কখনো ভুল করতেই পারে, তীর বিচার হোক। সত্যিটা যদি কেউ দোষী প্রমাণিত হয় তাকে যাবজ্জীবন কারাদণ্ড দিলেও আই ডোন্ট মাইন্ড।
মুখ্যমন্ত্রী সব বিষয়ে চুরিকে জাস্টিফাই করার জন্য এবং নিজের চেয়ারকে টিকিয়ে রাখার জন্য সব সময় বাংলা 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 করে নিজের ইমেজ রক্ষা করার জন্য বলছেন যে দায়ভার তো ওনাকে নিতে হবে। আর অর্পিতাকে তৃণমূলের কেউ বলবো না, অথচ অর্পিতাকে অনেকদিন ধরে চিনি। আপনি একটা মিথ্যাশ্রী পুরস্কার ঘোষণা করুন এবং প্রথম আপনিই পাবেন। এরকম একটা চরিত্রহীন লোক সরকারি সমর্থন মুখ্যমন্ত্রীর আশীর্বাদ ছাড়া কখনো হতে পারে না।
And breaking news coming in, an update coming in on the SSC scam probe. Both Partha Chatterjee and Arpita Mukherjee have been remanded to ED custody till the 3rd of August. Meanwhile, after AIIMS Bhubaneswar certified Partha as fit to be discharged from hospital, Partha Chatterjee will now be flown to Kolkata tomorrow morning, where he will be lodged at an ED facility for further questioning. That's the piece of breaking news that's coming in. I'm joined by Shaugata Mukhopadhyay on the broadcast. So, Shaugata, custody till the 3rd of August. Take us through the modalities of the case for which the ED feels that they have to question Partha Chatterjee in custody.
Well, as per the argument that was placed before the court today, the Enforcement Directorate insisted that the span of the case, the people who are involved in it, and the depth to which the corruption may have got into are all extremely widespread and requires a lot of focus and attention as far as the investigation is concerned. And that's the reason why the Enforcement Directorate actually prayed for full-term custody for both Partha Chatterjee, the Trinamool Congress minister, Trinamool Congress senior leader, as well as his so-called close-eyed Arpita Mukherjee, on whom that whopping close to 22 crore rupees of cash was recovered from. The court obviously heard both sides of the arguments, that is from the Enforcement Directorate as well as from the defense counsels of both Partha Chatterjee and Arpita Mukherjee. Yes, one thing is significant is that although the defense counsel of Partha Chatterjee had moved a bail application for the minister, as far as Arpita Chatterjee is concerned, she did not even move a bail application. She had only moved an application for a shortened term for police custody, in this case Enforcement Directorate custody, and also requested the court that certain conditions be put on them. For example, no interrogation between 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. Also, safety and security of the suspect should be ensured, and so on and so forth. But there was no bail application moved by Arpita Mukherjee in court today. Let me be very clear on that. And as a result, after the deliberations, the order was kept on hold. It was on reserve for some time, and a short while back, the court has passed that order, in which both Arpita Chatterjee and Arpita Mukherjee and Partha Chatterjee have been remanded for 9 days of Enforcement Directorate custody, and they will be produced in court next on the 3rd of August. So obviously, Partha Chatterjee, who had been flown to AIIMS Bhubaneswar early this morning. Was supposed to come back late night tonight, but that will not happen on account of the logistics that went a little haywire on account of the court order coming a little late in the day. So Partha Chatterjee would now be flown back to Kolkata tomorrow morning and would be taken to the ED headquarters in Salt Lake, where he would be interrogated. Also, Arpita Mukherjee, who's already in ED custody and is in the ED, is being housed and detained at the ED facility in Salt Lake since yesterday, will continue to remain there. And there is a strong possibility that in the course of time, probably after a couple of days of interrogation, both these suspects may be made to sit face to face with each other for questioning and examination because of the proximity and the closeness that the ED has been trying to put forward in terms of financial relationships that existed between these two suspects. So that is also a strong possibility of a face-to-face interrogation, sometime later in the coming few days.
Right. So that's the additional piece of information that's coming in, that there could be a face-to-face interrogation of Partha Chatterjee and Arpita Mukherjee. Thank you, Shagata, for joining us on the broadcast and getting us that piece of breaking news. So 9 days of ED custody for the West Bengal minister and his aide Arpita Mukherjee. Getting some more breaking news. This is concerning the allegations of harassment by Lovlina Borgohain. The Assam Olympic Association has reacted to the allegations levelled by Lovlina against the sports authorities. The General Secretary of the Assam Olympic Association told Chief Minister Mamata Sharma that it is looking into the entire matter. That's the piece of breaking news that's coming in. Let's listen in to the officials, those voices which are coming in.
Lovlina has tweeted regarding her personal strength and conditioning coach, Amaya, that he is not being, accredited to the national boxing team to Commonwealth Games. But this time Indian Olympic is giving more strength to the Indian boxing team as it has more potentiality. So it is very unfortunate that there must be some misunderstandings. So Honorable Chief Minister of Assam, Dr. Himanta Biswa Sarma sir, and he is also looking after this matter very seriously. So I hope there will be a solution very soon, because we, at this juncture of time when Lovlina's bout is very near in Commonwealth Games, this matter should be sorted out so that she can win medal.
I'm joined by Niloy Bhattacharjee on the broadcast to get the latest details as action is now being taken after Lovlina Borgohain made those stunning allegations on social media. Niloy, so what action is being taken by the state government?
Right, but first of all, Lovlina's tweet, she mentioned about her coach and her mentor. She's not only her boxing coach, but her mental strength also, Sandhya Gurung. So she said that Sandhya Gurung was not being allowed into the games village. So now we learned that she has been provided the accreditation, the games village accreditation. So from tomorrow onwards, Sandhya Gurung would be allowed, Dronacharya Sandhya Gurung would be allowed inside the camp. So she would be near Lovlina. That is one positive thing. And on the second side, Lovlina's father is also very apprehensive. He has categorically mentioned this is not for the first time she has tweeted rather, but she has mentioned these things about to her father during her visit to her native village in Golaghat, where she had mentioned about the coach, but not that seriously. So it's a shocker for her parents also. But the father, Tiken Borgohain, has appealed to her to leave all these things behind and concentrate more into the game, so that her medals can speak for herself. So this is one thing. The sports sports department or the ministry is looked after by the chief minister himself. So definitely the chief minister is also looking into the matter. But as the Assam Olympic Association's secretary, he has mentioned that definitely there has been a misunderstanding between the coach or the federation and Lovlina. So these things will be sorted out. But definitely yes, this is a serious allegation, because she has mentioned in the tweet that she has not been able to practice for last 8 days. Now these 8 days are very very crucial. She left Ireland yesterday and reached Birmingham today. So she has not been practicing for the last 8 days. She has been quarreling about and fighting on her coaches. So these are very unprecedented things. So these should be actually straightened out before she goes to the bout.
Absolutely. All of this should be straightened out, and we're getting a reaction from the sports ministry of the nation, which has said that now they have intervened in this entire matter pertaining to those charges of mental harassment coming in from Lovlina Borgohain. Now, the sports ministry has asked the Indian Olympic Association to give the CWG Games Village the accreditation of Lovlina's coach, to give the clearance to Lovlina's coach. That's the pitch coming in from the sports ministry, to allow Lovlina's coach to enter the village so that Lovlina can continue with her training, because that's the allegation that was coming up, where she was saying that her coach, who was someone who has honed her as an athlete, he wasn't being given access. I'm joined by Shivani Gupta on the phone line on this piece of breaking news where the sports ministry has now intervened. So Shivani, could we chalk this up to a misunderstanding between the coach and the sports authorities, or do you think heads will roll?
I think this is definitely more than a misunderstanding, Ayushman, because what the sports ministry is saying is that, one, now they have asked the Indian Olympic Association that the accreditation should be given to Lovlina's personal coach, Ms. Sandhya Gurung. Clearly, she was not given the accreditation earlier, which is why Lovlina, as she mentioned in her complaint on social media, her coach was not able to enter the Games Village. Only accredited official members of the contingent can do so. But interestingly, what the sports ministry is also telling us is that actually Sandhya Gurung's name was included in the final Commonwealth Games contingent last week. And this was done on a special recommendation which was made by Sports Authority of India to the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports. So therefore, this was done last week. So what went wrong? If Sandhya Gurung was part of the official contingent list, then why did she not have the accreditation to be able to enter the Games Village? And I think on this, Indian Olympic Association and the Boxing Federation will have to do some answering. Also, what the sports ministry is saying, as was mentioned by Lovlina Borgohain in her complaint as well, is that in the camp that was held earlier in March by the Boxing Federation, the names of Ms. Gurung and Lovlina's strength and conditioning coach were not there. But on Lovlina's intervention and request, the Sports Authority of India had intervened and asked the federation to include both her personal coaches. Eventually, both of them had joined the camp. If you remember, Lovlina in her complaint also had mentioned that she's been having to fight repeatedly and request repeatedly to get her coaches into the national camp as well. And now finally at the Commonwealth Games, they're not able to enter the Games Village. So certainly something has gone horribly wrong, because if somebody's name is there in the contingent list, they should ideally have an accreditation. Things obviously will settle down now. There is still some time to go, of course, before the official start. So hopefully Lovlina will be able to recover from these setbacks and needless hindrances in her training. But certainly the ministry will have to do some sort of a check as to what went wrong here. For now, they have asked the IOA to give the accreditation to Ms. Gurung.
Right. Thank you, Shivani, for joining us on the broadcast. So while an athlete should be focusing on their game and their fitness, they shouldn't be involved in trying to get access to their coaches to prepare for a very important games, namely the Commonwealth Games, which are just 8 days away in Birmingham. So clearly, now with the sports ministry intervening, hopefully everything gets cleared up. But this is a huge lapse when it comes to the management of India's top athletes. Prime Minister Modi has put the onus on them to bring the gold for India. So given that mission, they shouldn't be focusing on these logistics. They should only be focusing on their game. So hopefully Lovlina can now focus on her game when it comes to clinching that gold at the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham. Let's shift focus, and we have got a reaction from Lovlina Borgohain's father, who has termed the recent developments as disturbing and said that this has hampered her entire preparation for the Commonwealth Games. Listen in.
उसने ट्वीट किया है वो उनका जो कोच है, कोच को गेम विलेज में जो बर्मिंघम में अभी कॉमनवेल्थ गेम शुरू है उसमें उसको घुसने नहीं दिया है, वो एंट्री नहीं होने दिया है बोल के ये ट्वीट किया है। और बार बार उनका कोच चेंज करके उनको हरासमेंट दिया है ऐसे बोल के एक ट्वीट किया है। एक्चुअली अगर ऐसा हुआ है तो मैं सोचता हूँ ये अच्छा नहीं है, वो बहुत दुखद बात है। ये सब छोड़ के जो हो गया ये सब छोड़ के खेल में वो फोकस दे। अच्छा होगा, अच्छा से वो खेल के लिए सोचे। अभी 2-4 दिन में कॉमनवेल्थ गेम शुरू होगा, तो उसमें उनका परफॉर्मेंस अच्छा रहे।
ये सब तो हमें तो इतना आइडिया नहीं रहती, क्योंकि हम लोग को कोचिंग पे ध्यान देते हैं कि हम बच्चों को मतलब परफॉर्मेंस अच्छा उनका परफॉर्मेंस अच्छा हो और हम लोग अच्छी तरह से ट्रेनिंग कराए। तो यही बच्चे यही एक्सपेक्ट करते हैं, जिससे ट्रेनिंग किया है उसको होना जरूरी है, ये सोचते हैं। तो थोड़ा सा मेंटली उन लोगों को ये डिस्टर्ब होता है कि अपने कोच को ना ले जाए, तो वही उसके थोड़ा इसी में डिस्टर्ब होता है। तो हम लोग ये नहीं चाहते कि बच्चों के डिस्टर्ब ना हो। कोई बात नहीं, हम लोग ना आए हुए ठीक है, बाकी कोचेस रहते हैं, फिर भी बच्चे तो मानते नहीं। एक्चुअली जहाँ हम लोग आयरलैंड से यहाँ आए हैं तो अच्छी तरह से चल रहे हैं। और यहाँ तक वजह एक थोड़ा सा अभी प्रॉब्लम है, जो एक्रेडिटेशन कार्ड है, जो वो ना होने की वजह से मैं अंदर जा नहीं पा रही हूँ। तो अंदर के उन लोगों से मिला भी नहीं हो पाएगा, क्योंकि जब तक वो बाहर नहीं आएगा तो मिल नहीं पाएगी। तो आज शाम तक हो सके तो हो जाएंगे, उन लोग कोशिश कर रहे हैं। तो अगर होगा तो मैं जा पाऊंगी, ट्रेनिंग करा पाऊंगी, नहीं तो नहीं कर पाऊंगी।
So concerns coming in from the parents and the coach of Lovlina Borgohain. Hopefully it'll all get sorted out ahead of the Commonwealth Games. Now the Parliament showdown has escalated and 4 Congress MPs have been suspended for protesting inside the House. The MPs Manikam Tagore, Jyoti Mani, T.N. Patapan and Ramya Haridas were raising slogans, holding placards against inflation and the GST hike. All the 4 Congress MPs have been suspended for the entire session over repeated disruptions in the House. Remember, the government had prohibited distribution of any pamphlets, leaflets or placards in the House just ahead of the monsoon session.
As per the rules, we are giving adjournment motions. Today also I had given an adjournment motion, 6th day, but the government has shown complete arrogance towards the opposition parties.
ये क्या करते, तट्टिया लेके तट्टिया स्पीकर के मुंह के सामने रखते हैं। This is highly condemnable and speaker warned. Speaker आज बहुत स्पष्ट तरीके से वार्न किया, अगर ऐसे ही आगे आप बढ़ते हैं तो मैं एक्शन लूंगा।
We keep telling in the Business Advisory Committee that give us a discussion under adjournment motion. What has been the response of the government? They have tried to avoid responsibility. They have tried to avoid discussion. And now, what they are trying to do? They are trying to intimidate us.
आपका अधिकार है बोलने का, परंतु बोलने के लिए व्यवस्था है। परंतु आप यदि हंगामा करते हैं, तो अन्य जो मान्य सदस्य हैं उनके अधिकार का हनन भी करते हैं। उनके अधिकार का रक्षण करना भी चेयर का जिम्मा है।
And getting you a wrap of all the other news, Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh Yogi Adityanath carried out an aerial survey to review the arrangements made by the administration for the Cover Yatra in the state. He said that all the necessary directions have been given to the officials so that the Cover Yatris don't face any problem. Bollywood actor Ranveer Singh has landed himself in trouble after his naked photo shoot went viral on social media. A complaint has been registered against the actor at the Chembur police station. The complainant has said that Ranveer's photo shoot has hurt the sentiments of women at large. The Supreme Court of India has sought response from the former Indian skipper MS Dhoni over a plea filed by the Amrapali Group seeking a stay on the arbitration proceedings. The dispute is regarding certain payments that had to be given to him by the Amrapali Group. Earlier, Dhoni had claimed in High Court that Amrapali had not paid him money as brand ambassador and he had sought arbitration. Chinese President Xi Jinping has sent a congratulatory message to Draupadi Murmu on her assuming office as the President of India. In his message, Xi pointed out that China and India are important neighbors and a healthy and stable India-China relationship is in line with the fundamental interests of the two countries. A small trainer aircraft belonging to the private aviation school in Maharashtra's Pune district crashed. The pilot of the aircraft was injured in the mishap. As per the initial report, technical failure seems to be the reason behind the crash. Meanwhile, Union Minister for Civil Aviation Jyotiraditya Scindia in his tweet has called the incident unfortunate and called for an investigation to ascertain the cause. Scindia also wished the pilot a speedy recovery. We're going to take a short break. More news and updates on the other side.